Hello, my name is Abraham, and in my presentation, I will be discussing to you the reasons why our prison and rehabilitation system do not function. Now, the first thing I will be discussing is an abstract, a quick resume of what I'm going to discuss in the presentation generally. Now, my abstract. Right here in my presentation, I will be presenting statistics that show that criminals that are released from our jail system are quickly thrown back in because they commit another crime. I will also show rehabilitation and prison system being used for punishment instead of for rehabilitating their inmates so they can reintegrate to society. I will be discussing some ways that society rejects or pushes out these inmates once they complete their sentence. And I will also be given a little bit of personal experience with criminals. Topic proposition. My proposition is to create awareness of the unfairness and the malfunctioning of the prison system in our society. What I really want to do is tell you guys, based on the evidence I've gathered, is tell you and let you know what really happens inside jails and to help you decide or not if you think this is positive or if this is even effective in any way. Now, first of all, you should know that most criminals will reoffend once released. Specifically, 47% of all criminals leaving prisons reoffend within a year of being released. This is no different from short sentences. Short sentences on criminals will also result on them recommitting an offense from the same time, 12 months of being released, which means that one of the three ex-convicts will commit another crime and go back to jail. Now, with kids, it's all the same. Putting kids in jail is the least effective of all. 70% of juvenile delinquents will go back to prison within 12 months of being released. So we see that the prison system is not functioning at all. If the prison system's aim is to stop criminal action, is to stop criminality, or even not stop it but lower it, then we can see based on all the statistics that it is not doing a proper job, or it's not even being effective, because the same amount of criminals that are released come back in a year or less from being released from such institution. Now, we're going to talk about prison being used as punishment instead of rehabilitation. Currently, prisons seem to be designed to punish criminals rather than rehabilitate them and help them integrate back into society once they go out. They are locked away in tiny cells and given extremely limited resources. Rehabilitation programs tend to be the first thing to get cut when budget reduction occurs, leaving jails with no ways to help inmates improve their behavior. Now, this means that instead of helping them get better from whatever mental illness or whatever problem they were going through while they went through such actions as to commit a crime, they have no ways, like prisons have no ways to help them. Like, they get cut. The rehabilitation programs are the first thing to get cut or shut down in a prison once reduction of budget is needed. Okay, a good example of a rehabilitation system is Bostad Prison in Norway. It is famed for having an extremely relaxed atmosphere where inmates are treated as human beings, not as garbage or animals like in another common jail or prisons. The warden of Bostad refers to the prison as a small society built on mutual respect. The inmates are treated as equals and learn to respect themselves. The end result is that Bostad's reconviction rate is an astonishing 16% in comparison to Europe's 70% and America's 77%, which means that in this very different prison, in this more relaxed environment, the inmates which belong to this place, they don't go to the streets to make more crime, to even break more laws. They go out and their mentality changes to go out, stay clean and stay positive in the streets. Now this proves that a good rehabilitation system could have good results on the inmates that are locked in a prison. Now I'm going to talk about the way society pushes out ex-convicts. Released convicts face many obstacles when re-entering society. Many people believe that convicts are corrupted, so the thought of them returning to school and furthering their education is unlikely. Ex-felons are not eligible for Pell Grants, which means they don't receive federal aid to continue their studies. Laws also restrict them from working with minors, so that excludes many schools. After a felon has completed their sentence and are released from jail, there are legal barriers that keep them from working in certain fields, such as government jobs, military jobs, or any job that concerns or deals with monetary issues. As you can see, ex-convicts are marginalized and rejected by society because of their criminal past or their criminal records, which means if an ex-convict were to go to solicit employment in a store, if they find out that they have a criminal record, they might shut them down immediately just because they're not willing to give them a chance. So this stamps them for life, and it actually deprives them of many privileges or many opportunities that the average person could have. Okay, now my last argument is not based on facts or statistics. It's more about personal experience. One of my family members has been constantly in and out of jail several times. He is now 29 years old, and his first incarceration was when he was 18. Now, I once asked him, why do you keep committing these criminal acts? Why do you keep doing bad things that make you keep going back to jail? Now, his response was the most shocking thing of all, because he told me it's because it's the only thing I know. So being in jail hasn't stopped him. It hasn't helped him in any way. He hasn't changed. He hasn't bettered himself. So what did his time serve for? Okay, now, in conclusion, I would like to reinstate the points I have shown you in my presentation, which were: the jail systems do not work functionally because they take back as much as the same amount that they release in a year of time from releasing their inmates. So there was really no help. There was no improvement while they were locked away. They're being punished instead of being helped while they're inside of these jails. Like, there's no help from any psychologist, any psychiatric help to help them improve their mental state and help them realize their errors and become better persons themselves. We have also learned about the way society pushes them out and casts them away just because of having criminal pasts. Like, society thinks of them as bad, like something that is bad has always been bad and will always be bad. Which leads me to an quote which reads, prisons are an expensive way to make bad people even worse. Now, I agree with this quote completely, because what is being done with these prisons, besides locking them away from a certain period of time, they're not getting help, which means they're just getting inside prison to come out even worse, to plan, because gang members meet inside this jails actually. They plan even greater attacks from where they come out. For some of these gangsters, going to street is an actual accomplishment mark, where they can plan for the next attack when they go out in the streets. This has been my presentation, and thank you for your time. Okay. This has been my audience throughout my presentation. We have Desiree Padilla, Roberto Rodriguez, and Roberto Sosa. Thank you very much for watching me, guys.